What's going on, everyone? I'm Francois from Sony, and welcome back to another YouTube live stream. I'm joined here with two of our top product specialists. I have Brayton.
What's up?
And I have Karina.
What it do?
And we are live, so I want to have a nice, great conversation at this table about some back-to-school specials, some great products we have here, but I also want to have a conversation with you at home. I want to see that comment section going. We already got some people commenting right now. Doug Boy God, Fire, Mexica Soldier, here we go. And yeah, Pragmatic, make sure you stick around because we do have new pricing on the LinkBuds S and a lot of great deals. So without further ado, Karina, do you want to start us off on some of our top Sony tech for back to school?
Yeah, one of the things I want to talk about, WH-1000 Mark IVs. Now these right here, my favorite pair of headphones. And for you guys out there that are students and y'all are going to class Monday through Friday and you need a pair of headphones that's going to last you all week long, these have up to 30 hours of battery life, so they're going to last you. And not to mention, they charge very fast too. So if you're anything like me and you're running late for class, but you don't want to forget your headphones, you need to charge them in a pinch, I think it's 10 minutes to get up to 5 hours battery life, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes, 5 hour battery life. I know I never charge anything. I'm totally like you. So when you're late for class and you need headphones for class, you just plug it in. 10 minutes gives you up to 5 hours of playback, which is really unreal. And the noise cancellation is something I really like about the WH-1000 XM4s.
Absolutely. And when you're in school and you're always on the go, you're probably not going to want to have a giant pair of headphones to lug around. Luckily, these easily fold up and come with the case, so you can just throw it in there, throw them in your backpack, and they're super nifty, and you can just kind of put them away, stow them away while you're not using them.
I had textbooks thicker than that case when I was in college.
Same.
And what I love about that is, yeah, you are able to fold these up. So I don't like cases. I always lose them. So I'm the kind of guy that I'll just take these, I'll just toss them in. They're nice foldable right here. You just throw them in your bag. They're pretty durable too. So yeah, nice matte black finish.
They're nice and soft too. They're lightweight, so they have a nice soft touch. So even if you don't want to carry around the case, you can just put them around your neck or leave them up on your head, whether or not you have hair. It doesn't really matter.
You can place that all day long, right?
Yeah, all day.
Now, what's great about these too, they're on sale. So these are our back to school summer specials. So any of these products that we do talk about today, if you are interested in any of these, make sure you check out the link in the description down below. That does bring you to our Sony D2C store, so you can purchase them there, or they're available at your favorite retailers for this price as well. So these right now are $70 off, which is quite amazing.
Absolutely. And you're also looking at industry-leading noise cancellation. So when I was in school, I really needed to cut out the world around me to focus on studying for my tests and doing my homework. And I get distracted super easily. So being able to put these on, throw on noise cancellation, and not be able to hear anything is awesome.
I used to take the bus in college, and there was this guy that would always sing. And I wasn't a huge fan, but those would have came in really handy.
Right? Now I see in the chat here, we got Jay saying, what is this? This is our back to school specials. We've got a lot of great deals for a lot of great products that are perfect for going back to school. We got everything from in-ear earbuds, over-the-ear headphones, wireless speakers, party speakers, TVs, cameras. So make sure you stick around to the end. And we are again live. So let us know where you're checking in from. I'd love to hear who's watching us and from where. So make sure you get active in that chat. We'd love to hear from you
and of course,
where you're from.
Sorry, Francois, of course, I know you've already said it, but I'm going to keep saying it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. It means a lot. And make sure to hit the notification bell and everything else, right?
Absolutely. We go live each and every month. So if you haven't joined us before, if this is your first live stream, welcome. If not, subscribe to our Sony Electronics YouTube channel because we do go live every month. But without further ado, let's keep going. What else do we got, Karina?
Yeah, also $70 off LinkBuds S. Now, if you're more of the type of person to have those in-ear earbuds and you don't want something that goes over your head, I really like the LinkBuds S. You're looking at noise cancellation as well. Noise cancellation as well. It sounds really great and you can cut off all the noises. And I know yesterday we were talking about going to the gym with these headphones.
Oh, absolutely.
So I like having these headphones to not be able to hear like weights clanking and people grunting. And I get to really just stay in the zone while I'm at the gym. Another feature I want to highlight is the speak to chat. Really cool feature that the headphones detect when you're speaking. They pause your music, let ambient noise in, And for that gym use case scenario, I'm sure we've all done that awkward thing where you're trying to ask somebody if a machine's being used, so you're kind of like mouthing. And with Speak to Chat, you can just start talking, say, hey, is someone using that? Pauses your music and you can hear them respond.
Now, if you are a grunter at the gym, this is a feature that you do want to turn off, or if you're one that likes to speak out loud or sing, Speak to Chat feature is probably not for you. But what's great about any of our headphones that we talk about today is our Headphone Connect app. You download the app, you have all these kind of extra little additions that you can put in there. Everything from like Speak to Chat, you can kind of put your ambient sound levels and choose an equalizer for if you like more bass or more vocals. Great choices with all our headphones and earbuds.
The cool thing about ambient sound on both these headphones we just talked about is, for me, sometimes you have friends at the gym and they want to say hi, and the ambient sound's great for that because you actually hear what they're saying. And some people say hi too often, and I can just pretend like I can't. I can pretend like the noise cancellation is on, even though it's not. The choice is up to you using the Headphone Connect app.
Absolutely.
We have a few comments in the comment section. Looks like Ghost Rider just checked in from Michigan. Thank you so much.
Shout out Ghost Rider, Michigan.
Yeah. Zach says, checking in from Minnesota. Do you guys have the soft skin effects on? Everyone looks incredible. Thanks, Zach.
Thank
We'll talk
you.
about that in a bit.
Watching live from Minnesota,
Pretty
Renee,
cool.
Awesome. That's great. And talking about earbuds, I know Karina has another pair. We have the original LinkBuds, which is one of my favorite because of the ambient sound mode. If you want to talk more about those.
Absolutely. So the LinkBuds are on the opposite end of the spectrum. They have an open ring design, as you can see on the screen here, and it lets all the ambient noises in. So you're hearing everything around you. This would have been perfect for me when I was in school, because I was the type of person to have my headphones in and I missed everything the teacher was saying. So to be able to be in class and still hear everything your teacher's saying, that is awesome.
I'm one of those persons, while I was in school, I would always want to be listening to my music, and I'd always get in trouble because I'd always have my earphones in, and I wouldn't be able to hear what the teacher's saying. But this is a great earbud for back to school because you can have music playing on the background, and you can also listen to the teacher, the presenter, everyone else, and they're super lightweight, so you can wear them all day long. And when you have them in, they really don't even feel like they're really in there because they're so lightweight and such a small little earbud. That's why I really like the LinkBuds, the original LinkBuds, and they're also on sale for $50 off right now. So
one thing I do
great
want to
opportunity.
add is these are all IPX4 sweat resistant, the earbuds at least. So I know some people are pretty sweaty and they're still kind of unsure about wearing headphones, like Brayton. So just no matter how sweaty you are, these will be fine. You can use these at the gym, when you go running, hiking, anything like that.
Hey, we got to shout out Eve Diga from the chat. So I believe this comment was when you were talking about the LinkBuds S's with the noise cancellation. They really do sound great. I wear mine while flying with a pair of XM3s over the noise cancellation. I know I'm really weird. Actually, not weird at all. I wear my XM4s when I'm flying. With certain airlines, they give you those. You got to be able to listen to the little screen. So I actually wear those little earbuds, and then I put my M4s on top for that extra noise cancellation. So not weird, Eve. I feel you. I get it. I've done that before. And Eve is from Charlotte, so welcome. And Zach Singler commented, thank you very much, Zach, for joining us. Again, we are live, so if you are live, we'd love to hear where you're coming from, where you're checking in from, what Sony products that you have at home. We want to hear it.
And for the record, I'm really not that sweaty. It's just that I don't have all the beautiful hair like you guys have to catch all the sweat, so just take it easy.
No, you look good. You look good. So we're talking about in-ear earbuds, but this is back to school, and I know a lot of us have children going back to school, and on those lists, you need headphones now. So on that school list, headphones is, and a lot of these school districts are asking for headphones. And I don't want to get my daughter, who's younger and probably will lose earbuds, or I don't want to spend that much money on the M4s. I have a great option for them, and this is the CH520s at a fantastic price. They're at $38, so you can find them at your favorite retailer. So these are the CH520s. Great little headphones to be able to have for if you have someone in grade school, or maybe you just don't want to break the bank. These are fantastic, and up to 50 hours of battery life. So when you're talking about 50 hours, my daughter takes after me. She doesn't charge any of her devices. So to be able to charge this on the weekend and she'll be good all week is fantastic. If you want something a little bit more chic, and maybe you want to keep up with your peers, maybe you're in high school, you want something a little bit more fashionable, you want a nice white pair of headphones. These are the 720N. These are $128, and this is up to 35 hours of battery life. So fantastic thing about these is the quick charge feature. So a 3-minute charge will give you up to 60 minutes of playback. So if you do forget to charge them when you're going to class, you can easily just charge them and get up to 60 minutes of playback, which is, I mean, fantastic. We have some...
Sorry, one thing I want to say is despite the low price of these headphones, they're actually amazing. So I tell people, don't be afraid to not spend a lot of money on headphones. You don't need to spend a couple $100s to get something solid. These are great headphones for a great price.
And I see in the chat here, we have Danny checking in from Georgia. Welcome. That's some bad noise canceling way. I love that, Tim Taylor. Yeah, you're really enjoying that. Love it. Now, if you want the best, and sometimes you just need the best, I want to introduce a product that just recently released. It's the WF-1000 XM5s, the best noise canceling earbuds that Sony has ever made. So if you haven't checked these out, these are the best in ears, and a few new features this year. So we're using actually 6 mic capsules. Pardon me, 6 mic capsules. That's 2 more than the previous generation. So if you're using this to have conversations, if you're on public transit and you're taking calls, or if you're on the way to school and you're talking to your mom, really people around you don't really notice you're even in a busy place, because it actually has bone conduction sensors that sense when you're talking. So you're going to be able to have great clear sound when you're talking on the phone. And another cool thing about this, it has you can answer your phone or deny calls by shaking your head up or shaking your head sideways. So let's say you have your earbuds in, you're working on a project, a paper, you see somebody calling and you want to ignore them, all you got to do is shake your head, and then you don't have to take that call.
I like to make the sound effects while I'm doing it, being like, someone calls me, I don't want to answer it, and be like, The noise is not necessary though.
And the size, so definitely reduce the size of these earbuds so you can see how sleek they look in your ear. Nice sleek look. Again, so lightweight. Comes with several different ear tips as well for several different sizes of ear. That all comes in the box. So if you are somebody that has never tried earbuds before and you want to try the best noise canceling earbuds by Sony, the WF-1000 XM5s. Now, we talked a lot about headphones. We talked a lot about earbuds. But what about if you want to bring the party with you? What about if you want to really amaze everyone with sound and you want to share that sound and music experience? Brandon, I know you have some amazing products for back to school.
I sure do, Francois. Get your popcorn ready. We got a lot to go over here. I'm going to start off with the one I think is just a must-have for back to school. It's called the XB100. As you can tell, this little puppy is very small and lightweight. You can catch it at most of your favorite retailers right now, I believe for less than 50 bucks. And the reason, number one, that I'm going to say that you need to get this for your kid that may be going back to school or going back to college, or even if you are a student and you want something that's not going to break your ramen budget, this is the one. Has a nifty little strap. You can tie it to your backpack. I personally have a few things that I would have done if I had this when I was in college. First of all, I'd probably play some sort of dramatic intro music when I walk into class. I think that would be
theme
clever.
song,
right? Some sort of dramatic song. But most importantly, and I'm not necessarily recommending that you do this, but just saying that it might be something that I would have been inclined to do. I really think that this would be cool because of how small and compact it is to hide it somewhere in the classroom and play your favorite assorted funny noises.
Wait, don't give them any ideas.
I'm not suggesting it. Just saying.
It's a good way to get kicked out of class.
Right, if you want to stay in school, don't do that. But just saying I would do it, and it would work great for that. That's just a use case for how portable and lightweight this is. All these speakers that I'm going to continue to talk about have incredible battery lives. This one I believe has up to
16 hours.
16 hours, which especially for how small and lightweight this is amazing.
And if you compare that to the competitor size speakers on the market today, up to 16 hours is really at the top of the market for battery life.
For price and for size. Because to be able to get
size.
that type of battery power in this small package is very impressive. It's also waterproof, dustproof, shockproof. So doesn't matter if you're taking this maybe in the shower with you, or if you're bringing it down to the beach or whatever you might want. This is a great option. And like many of the other speakers I'm about to talk about, it does feature something called Party Link. So all the speakers that we'll talk about today feature what I just called Party Link. You can link up to 100 of these different speakers together and play the same track simultaneously. So especially for you college students out there, if you're going to be having like a let's say a little get together at your house and drinking lots of sodas, you can have these all simultaneously connected. You can have some music out in the yard. You can have some music in the bathroom, in the kitchen, wherever you want, and play your favorite annoying music for everyone to hear in every room in the house. Now let's move on. Go, what?
Oh, no, nothing. Just before you continue, I know we have a bunch more comments here. So we have Eugene Morning here all the way from Singapore. So definitely shout out to Eugene checking in from Singapore. Now these prices are United States prices. These are from our Sony.com retailers. So if you look at the link down below, that brings you to our D2C store. That is going to be US prices in USD. Make sure you check out Sony.com for your appropriate prices over in Singapore. And then check your favorite retailers for those prices as well. So yeah, these prices are United States.
Yeah, and they're not only on special, but they are just very special. So I'm gonna move on to the XE speakers, okay? We have 2 XE speakers to show you today. These are both obviously still very portable, still waterproof, still dustproof, still shockproof. This is the XE200, a lot more smaller form factor. As you can notice on the screen there, it comes in a variety of different colors. Also still works with that PartyLink feature, great battery life. But this one is a really great option. Comes with a little cool strap. I'm not sure if this would be quite as easy to connect to your backpack, but you could keep it on your wrist if you're, just really getting after it, whatever you might want. The XE300 is a very similar model as far as its shape and its size, but it's also a little bit larger. So with that larger size, you're gonna get larger speakers, which is gonna give you higher volume, be able to fill bigger spaces with your favorite music or your favorite, whatever content you're watching. And it's also gonna have a longer battery life because it is bigger, because it can house a larger battery cell. The XE series are 2 really great options, and at your favorite retailer, these are on a great sale price. And I think that these are awesome.
Oh, absolutely. The waterproof is the best thing. And
right.
I use these, I toss actually this one here because this is up to 24-hour battery life. I love to take this on the golf course with me. So I know I'm not back in school yet, but if you're playing extracurricular activities in school, you're playing some sports, this is great to have on the sideline because you don't have to worry about throwing it in your gym bag, your football bag, hockey bag. You can throw it in there if it gets dirty, just wash it off at home, and then you can bring it to the party, shower, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. And again, if you want to link them together and spread the cheer, it's going to be that time of year pretty soon. Some of my favorite songs are for a special time of year. Now I'm going to move on to the XG. This is my personal favorite, the XG300. This one's going to be even a little bit larger still. It has some really cool party lights built in. So again, if you're going to college and you're having to get together with your friends at the house, you're going to be able to turn it into a little mini nightclub if you want, with these cool lights and stuff that are featured on here. Has a handy dandy handle, so if you're trying to walk around like it's a book bag or act casual with your favorite tunes, it does do that. Also still waterproof, shockproof, dustproof. These are awesome for that. And one of the things I really also like about this, besides its durability, besides its volume, is not only battery life, but also you can actually plug your phone into this. So I believe this one has up to 25-hour battery life, which is super impressive. Your phone probably doesn't have that. So especially if you're playing music. A nice thing is if the big battery in this is outlasting your phone and your phone's starting to die, but you want to keep the party going, you can plug your phone into this and charge your phone with it, which is just a cool little side feature.
I just want to say something about this. If we can get that B-roll of throwing this in the pool, because I know a lot of people aren't going to throw a $350 speaker into the pool. Well, right now it's $150 off, so you can get a great price on it. And yes, that is waterproof, so it's a great party trick. Throwing the speaker into the pool, make sure the back is closed, throw it into the pool, throw it in the hot tub. It's a really, really neat feature. I use it all the time. And I always say, hey, somebody catch, and then splash.
Right.
Goes into the pool. I just want to take a second here. We do have Mexica Soldier. They're checking in right now from Arizona. So what's going on? And then we also have, they also said, I'm heading over to my favorite retailer, and I'm going to check out some of these speakers while I'm there. Going to go pick up a PS5 game, so congratulations on your new PS5 game that you're picking out. What Mexico Soldier, I want to know, what speaker takes your interest? Would you rather get the XE200, 300, maybe go on to the big one? I mean, this is a big one. This is a pretty good one. So let us know, Mexico Soldier, what you're going to look at and what do you think you're going to buy? I'd love to know.
I'm personally not in school anymore, and you mentioned golf. This is like my golf cart buddy. I put this in there, play all my favorite dad rock songs, whatever else. But yeah, this is my favorite one, and it's on a super aggressive sale price for most of your favorite retailers. So check out the X3 Now these are more of our portable options, things that can fit in your backpack if you're going to school, maybe in the basket of your golf cart. But I do want to talk about a couple that I think are super exciting, and especially for you college kids out there. You want to give me that one? Oh boy, yeah. Get that one too, would you? Give me that one.
There you go, buddy.
Bring
All
out
right.
the big guns.
Okay, we have right here the XV800 over here, the big boy, and we have the, what is this one? The
This is the XP700.
listen, these things are loud, okay? And they do still feature the PartyLink features. They have the cool party lights. Obviously, with how big they are, they're going to be able to fill up pretty much any space that you want. They're loud. They're still pretty portable. The 800 over here on this side has wheels, so if you're not, you know, you don't have the wingspan to carry them around, you can roll it around if you want. Maybe even bring it as your favorite piece of luggage if you want to.
And Braden, you do
have a
have the
party.
wingspan, so you could technically bring both of these to a party because they do have that PartyLink feature.
Yeah, you really could. One other feature that I think is super special about these is that they have mic inputs. So again, for you college kids out there, if you're having a house party and drinking lots of sodas and you start wanting to be able to sing your favorite songs, maybe your favorite duets, you can plug a mic into these. Thanks, Francois, I appreciate it. Because my arms was getting tired. You can have a karaoke party with these. And I believe, did you say, Karina, that we can plug in a guitar?
Yeah, for you music majors out there or aspiring musicians, plug in a guitar. There's a 1/4-inch input, and you can jam out, karaoke, play guitar. Good time.
And all these big size speakers are also on great special. They're not only on special, they are special. So check out your favorite retailers.
They're all $100 off right now. So whether you're jumping for the Super XV900 or you're going to get the XP500, they're all $100 off. So great little speakers for back to school, especially if you want those noise complaints.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. If you're going to college and you're staying in a dorm, leave it in the comments if you know what it is, because I never even stayed in a dorm. But there's someone that like manages the floor of the dorms. If they really just get on your nerves and you want to, you know, make their day better, get one of these puppies and turn it all the way up.
It's gonna rock your floor, especially if you get one of the bigger ones like the
Right.
XV900. They're great. Now we talked about a lot about party sound, talked about in-ear earbuds. If you're just joining us right now, I just want to say welcome to our YouTube live stream. We do this every single month, so if you haven't done this already, make sure you subscribe to our Sony Electronics YouTube channel to see us here on every single month. But if you haven't already, make sure you leave comments in the chat. If you are just checking in after the live session, still keep those chats going because we can come back, we can answer any of your questions about any of the products we talk about today. So we talked about earbuds, we talked about over-the-ear headphones, we talked about wireless speakers, portable speakers, party speakers, but one of my favorite memories from college and from school, whether it was high school or college, was photo memories. Those are what I really appreciated, especially now when I look back. Some of my best years of life was in high school and college, so cameras were big, but my pictures from back then don't have the greatest quality, so we have some amazing cameras here to give you way better quality than, let's say, your typical cell phone.
Absolutely, and one that I wanted to bring up is a ZV-1F. It's one of the cameras I actually own, and it's a great camera if it's your first camera. Now, you said making memories or going to high school football games, college football games, pep rallies, and you don't want to lug a giant camera and lens around campus. It's so portable, so small, and you can just throw it in your backpack, throw it in your pocket, and you can still make those memories without having such a large footprint. And guys, if you are in college, let us know who you're repping down below in the comments. We definitely want to hear it.
Now, talking about these cameras, we had a great question here. This is Historic Metals. Explain to us why you can't have better names for your products. We have the ZVE1, ZV1, ZV1F, ZV1 Mark II. We get it. We love these comments. We love when people give us suggestions. So if you do have any way that you think we can make our products better, we love to hear it. Naming, that's a big one. I completely agree. We are going to go over all the ZV lineup. It's kind of a lineup of cameras because they do have a lot of similar features. So we want to kind of show you the differences between the ZV1F and the ZV1 like Mark II, like you were talking about. So we are going to explain them all today, and Karina's just starting us off.
Absolutely, and I totally get tongue-tied too with these model numbers, so I get it. Now, one of the features I love on here is soft skin effect, and someone commented earlier asking us if we were using it. Thank you so much. No, we're not using it, but it's a great use case if you're doing online classes and you have one of those teachers that wants everyone on camera and you're tired, you're looking kind of groggy, and you just want to look a little bit more fresh. Just throw on soft skin effect, and you don't have to worry about how you look. You can just focus on the lecture. So I love that feature personally.
We've gotten a lot of fan mail about Francois's skin routine, and I didn't know the answer. Turns out it was just the soft skin effect. Bamboozled.
Yes, it's a feature I use all the time, especially if you just wake up, you're a little groggy in school, you're on online classes, and the teacher makes you put on that webcam. This is a great way. You just literally plug and play to your computer to be able to get a beautiful image, kind of beautifies you to make you even that much better. We don't have it on now. I wish we had it on because I'd look that much better. But this is a feature I use all the time, definitely.
And part of this camera is the ultra wide lens. So if you want to capture yourself, this camera is great for vlogging, by the way. If you want to be able to capture yourself, you can easily do that, or you can get your entire group of friends and just get everyone in the photo super easily without having to worry about getting like a selfie stick or having somebody else take the photo. But if you do want a little bit more versatility in the camera, I might recommend this guy right over here. It's our brand new ZV-1 Mark II. So this guy features a 18 to 50 millimeter lens. You can still do the vlogging stuff, get those great selfies, but if you wanted to zoom in a little bit more, capture some cinematic footage, maybe you guys want to make some small movies, start a YouTube channel, or even if you're like a film major and you just want to make some small films, great option to do that. And with Steady Shot built in on the camera, you can get really smooth footage, no need to have a gimbal or anything crazy like that.
I love the background to focus mode on that too, to take those nice buttery smooth bokeh, you know, that nice blurry background. A lot of people might be wondering too, it's like, well, I got a cell phone, why do I need a camera to bring this back to school? Well, the camera, the sensor in the camera is going to be much larger than your cell phone. So your cell phone sensor for your camera in there typically is around the size of like my pinky nail. And then with these cameras, they're roughly 4 times the size, which means you're going to get a sharper image, you're going to get better features and better video, which is great. And especially with the wide lens, your 20 millimeter lens, you're going to get a perfect shot for any picture you need to capture. We have some great comments here. Tom Taylor, I threw all of my speakers in the pool, the XB23, 32, 41, 43. They're still all fine. Confirmation. Thanks so much, Tom Taylor, because yeah, absolutely, I love it. You just throw your speakers in there. And then we have another comment here. Zach, a friend of mine let me borrow the 700 model. That's the party speaker that Brayton was talking about. And it's definitely loud enough to catch a noise complaint from a neighbor or two. So that is confirmed. If you were bringing this back to school, your next tailgate party, your next friendly house party is going to be, you're going to be the life of the party for sure. So we got Jeff here, RAs. Keep the comments going. We are live. If you haven't already, subscribe to our Sony Electronics YouTube channel. We do live presentations every single month, and we want to have a conversation. We're having a conversation at the table here, but we also want to have a conversation with you. So let's keep those comments rolling in. We want to hear your thoughts on the products we're talking about and some of the perfect back-to-school specials that we have today. Now, we talked about kind of portability in cameras Karina was talking about. But Brayden, you have an amazing camera, which is full frame, which is kind of a step closer to the professional level of cameras.
For sure. So when we're talking about the ZV-E series, there's a lot of things that we've already talked about that I really like, especially when we're talking about ease of use and getting someone who might not be so familiar with camera technology out of the box and already making stuff that makes them and the things that they're shooting look that much better. When you're talking about the ZV-E1, however, there's a few things that really set it apart from the ones that we've already talked about. And I think one of the things that really sets us apart first and foremost is going to be, like Francois said, it has a full frame sensor. So when we're talking about the cameras that a lot of us carry in our pockets and the size of that sensor, we get into some of the ZV series with 4 times the sensor size. When you get that larger sensor, obviously you're just allowing a lot more light into that camera. And what that does for you is it allows you to get things like more robust bokeh effect, or that background blur effect that we talked about. It also allows you to take pictures and videos in dark areas. It's able to capture more light and still get a really clean, professional looking image. So again, we're talking about back to school. If you're having a house party and you want to get some video footage of your friends drinking sodas, you can use the larger size sensor on this to be able to capture great content, great pictures in dark areas. The ZVE1 also features our E-mount technology. So what that means for you is that you can actually take the lens off and use one of our over 70 lenses that we have in our E-mount lineup. And the more important part of that is that even if you ever upgrade this camera at a later date, get something a little bit more professional, a little bit more powerful, you can keep all those lenses that you had and be able to use them on your next cameras. So building your lens collection now, even if you're a beginner, even if you're just trying to take some webcam shots or make videos around campus, whatever you might be doing, this is going to give you a lot more creative freedom with the large lens variety that we have to offer here at Sony. And this camera is just...
It's up to over 70 lenses available, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I see Larry from Sony in the chat. That is one of our fellow Sony employees there. So thanks, Larry, for answering some of those questions in the chat. If you haven't already, make sure you check out our Sony support channel. A little plug for Larry and his team. They have a little after hours little podcast in there, so make sure you go check that out. Thanks, Larry, from Sony in the chat answering question. Really appreciate it. Talking about cameras with interchangeable lenses, I want to talk about this camera right over here. This is a very, very popular camera, one for price point. Does also have the interchangeable lens. This is the ZVE10. Make sure you check out your top retailers. This is sold out a lot because it does go quick. If you're looking for the perfect camera to bring to school, this is one of the perfect ones, especially if you're trying to kind of build that lens collection up and then maybe move over to a full frame camera. You're just getting into photography or videography, or you want to start you want to start a YouTube channel. You want to have all these great features. That's great. Or maybe, hey, I know a lot of big YouTubers started off in college filming in their dorm rooms, and this is a great opportunity to get you that camera feature to that much better of quality than anything else. And I just want to do a little recap because all these cameras that we just mentioned have these kind of bonus features, right? The soft skin effect. When you wake up in the morning, you kind of want to get beautified, the soft skin effect is perfect. We also have product showcase mode. So if you do want to start your own YouTube channel, you see on the screen here, she brings the product closer, it focuses instantly on that product. You bring the product away, and it focuses right back on the on yourself, which is great. And then also has the background to focus mode on all of these cameras. So you want that buttery smooth background. If you've ever seen somebody's social media page and you see all of their pictures with that buttery smooth background, well, they're probably not using a cell phone because that is digitally enhanced. Where this one, it's using the sensor and the lens to give you that nice, beautiful bokeh background.
Yeah, and talk a little bit more about the product showcase mode. That's one of the features I really like and that intrigued me. Some of the streamers that I watch aren't just playing video games. A lot of them are, for me, like something that I really enjoy personally is trading cards. And I watch some streamers that crack open packs of their favorite trading cards. And I've noticed in the past that when I would watch people open up their favorite trading cards, they would hold it up like this, but then they would end up putting their, with this paste. Not going to try to eat it though, don't tempt me. They put their hand behind it, and that would allow it to autofocus. With the product showcase mode, like Francois already mentioned, the cool thing about that is that, like you said, it will snap to focus very quickly, and when you pull it away, it puts the focus right back on the person that's talking and presenting in the first place. And I really love that feature.
I want to talk about background to focus mode a little bit too. You're talking about like blurring it out, right? Blurring out the product. But if you want to blur out your background, not because you want like a smooth aesthetic photo, but because you're doing online classes and your dorm room's messy, your bedroom's messy, and you don't want your classmates knowing how disgusting you are, you could just throw on background to focus mode, blurs out that background, and you don't have to worry about any of that.
And we got some of the chats going here. Some great conversation between Mexica Soldier, Larry from Sony, Tim Tom Taylor. Love the chat. Pragmatic says Sony is all about diversity. Absolutely, Sony's all about diversity. We had a comment here. Where do we get a job from Sony? Well, if you definitely look at our Sony.com, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see careers. So if there's a career available in your area, definitely recommend you trying to join the team because we all have fun here at Sony and we're having a great time here in the live stream. Now we talked about cameras. Cameras are fantastic, but something that you need for school, especially your dorm room, is what's right behind me, a TV. You need to pass the time when you're in school, so a TV is an excellent opportunity to really really kind of pass the time. And it's a great gift if you have somebody going away for college, they need a TV for the dorm room. The X77L right behind me is a perfect choice for them because it comes up from a 43-inch all the way up to an 85-inch TV. And the 43-inch right now is $398.
That's nuts.
That's amazing. So make sure you check out the link in the description down below. It has our Sony D2C store, or you can go check out any of your favorite retailers for any of the products we talked about today. And then a 50-inch is for $498. So if you want that value foundational TV, it's great. Now, talking about foundational TV, the X77L, yes, it's our foundation TV, but it still has some of the amazing Sony products you would love to see in some of our even top tier TVs. So if you're looking at TVs in this price point from competitive brands, you will most likely get an edge-lit TV, which means all the lighting is coming from that bottom of the TV, working its way up. With the X77L, you're gonna get a direct lit TV. So this means the lighting is coming from the back of the TV, so you're gonna experience better contrast with all those lighting in the back of the TV to give you way better contrast.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the X77L, there's a couple things. First of all, this just dawned on me. I've seen dorm rooms when I was in college. A 50-inch X77 is gonna look massive in a dorm room, and it's only $498. If you want it, I mean, Super will party at your dorm this year. The next thing I was gonna say is, really cool thing about X77 that I think is exceptional, especially in its price point, is gonna be not only the fact that it has the better direct backlight compared to anything else in its price category, but especially the fact that at this price point, this TV supports Dolby Vision. And most of us, including probably everyone who's going back to school, have a lot of your favorite streaming services that you like to watch your favorite shows and movies on. Most of those streaming services deliver their content in Dolby Vision now, which is like the premier HDR format. And I've looked, and I'd be curious if anyone could find one. I have not found anything in this price point that supports Dolby Vision. So if you're someone who likes to watch a lot of TV shows and movies, and you want Dolby Vision support, you want to get that content at its best level, the way it was meant to be seen, the X77 definitely supports that. And on top of it, I don't think we mentioned this yet, the X77 has our X1 processor in it, which only a couple years ago was like our premier processor. And what that means for the customer is that even if you're not watching 4K Dolby Vision content on your favorite streaming service, if you're watching maybe an older movie or an older TV show, that processor is going to make that stuff look closer and closer to 4K content. You make it look sharper, it's gonna make the color look better, helps make the motion look better. This TV is nothing to sneeze at, especially for its price point.
And a lot of people out there might wonder, like, why do I need a better processor for the TV? Well, Sony knows processing because we're not just a TV manufacturer. We're the only TV company that actually creates the content for your TV. So you're talking about major motion films, television shows, video games that we're going to really get into in a moment here. But we're the only TV manufacturer in the world that actually creates the content that you see on the TVs. Not to mention, we create the cameras that film the movies, the TV shows. Our master monitors on set is using kind of the same kind of color technology that you're seeing in our consumer TVs. So you're getting that kind of Hollywood content, especially with the next TVs that we're talking about. Now, we have a question here in the chat. Just a guy said, what is Sony D2C? So Sony D2C is Sony direct to consumer site. So you can order direct from Sony if you'd like. We do have a link in the description down below, but any of the products we talk about will be available in the D2C site or at your favorite retailers. So whatever you choose to purchase, go ahead and purchase. I noticed that Jeff answered that question, so appreciate that. And then we have Larry from Sony in the chat. Appreciate your hard work in the chat. Keep that going, keep the conversation going, much appreciated.
Hi, Larry.
Now, I do want to talk about something that's dear to my heart, and especially going back to school, is gaming. Because for the very first time, we are now pairing our PlayStation 5 with a TV bundle. You can save $150 if you buy one of the next TVs that we're going to be talking about today. That's save $150 on a PlayStation 5. So if you have someone going off to college or high school, or you want to try and keep them out of trouble, you want to keep them inside gaming, this is a great bundle to get. My favorite TV that Brayton's going to talk about, the A80L. I love this TV.
I love the A80L as well. The A80L is easily our most popular OLED that we sell. And when we talk about OLED, some of the TVs we'll talk about in a minute also feature other forms of high contrast technology. But the thing that's really unique about OLED for those out there watching that might not be as familiar with TVs as we are every day is most TVs can only make one shade of brightness, especially the TVs that are in the lower price points. When you get up into more premium levels of TVs, some of them, including some of the ones we'll get to, are able to make different levels of brightness at the same time, meaning like, you know, this side of the screen can be bright and this side of the screen can be dark. That allows to really separate and drive contrast. An OLED is super unique because a 4K TV has 8 million pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each individual of those 8 million pixels has independent control, meaning
You are getting the best contrast.
Yes.
The best contrast.
And the one example that I always use is an OLED is pretty much the only TV that can take a nighttime shot of a movie or a TV show and make a pitch black sky with super bright stars without any light bleeding or anything else. That's kind of the embodiment for me of low light performance and contrast. And our OLEDs do it the best, especially with our cognitive processor XR and everything else that comes into that technology. One of the things that we talk about the PlayStation bundle and talking about gaming is our new game menu features.
Excellent.
Yeah, the new game menu features are really exciting for me, especially I like to play games. I'm not very good at them anymore. But what the game menu does is
Getting old.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself. Yeah. The menu comes up from the bottom of the screen. And what that does is it gives you all the different features that are built into the TVs now and gives you quick access to them. So you can spend less time fidgeting around with your gaming features and spend more time playing your games. Especially for someone like me who doesn't get as much time to game anymore, this has been super convenient. One of the features that really excites me about the game menu has to be the variable screen size. So for me, again, not very good at them anymore. Not that I even ever was all that good at them, but I like to play first-person shooters. And when I play on my big screen TV, sometimes, especially if I'm sitting a little closer to the TV and I'm getting real sweaty, I'll notice that like if I'm trying to aim at something in the top corner of the screen, I'm literally moving my face to get to that thing, or I'm moving my eyes around the screen. A lot of really competitive gamers, especially in shooting games, people that are actually good at it, use monitor-sized screens because they don't have to move their head and their eyes and stuff around the screen. With the new game menu and with the A80L, you're able to reduce the screen size of that big TV down to something more close to a monitor. I think down as far as 27 inches. So that feature is really cool. If you want to get, like I said, extra sweaty and you want to get your KD up, you can sit close to the TV, you can shrink that screen size down to something closer to a monitor. And I think that's something that's really exciting, especially if you don't have the space or the moolah to have multiple screens all over your house for different purposes. Right. I really love that.
And if you're already buying the PlayStation 5 bundle with the TV, I mean, to have that screen size, you no longer need a monitor because you can sit really close, you can shrink the screen size down to 27 inches and use that as your monitor. And it does 4K gaming at 120 hertz, variable refresh rate like you talked about, and everything you need to have that competitive edge as a gamer. For
sure. One other feature about the A80L before I move on has to be, and it sets it apart from any other OLED that I've seen on the market, is our acoustic surface technology. When you're talking about OLEDs, they have a glass screen, and we've placed what we call actuators behind that glass to drive a stereo sound coming directly from the screen. And it's actually quite impressive. You have to kind of hear it to believe it. But when you talk about like a movie theater, for instance, what is it, 80% of the sound comes from the screen?
Yeah, directly from the screen behind you. So if you're going to a movie theater, that's kind of to really bring you closer to what the director had intended, because that's the sound coming right from the screen to really immerse you into the cinematic experience.
Yeah, and our OLEDs have that same theater-like experience with our acoustic surface. It's loud, it's very crisp, great mids and highs and lows, especially for just a TV coming out of the box. So again, even if you're going to college and you want something that's great out of the box, you don't have space for a lot of extra audio technology, the A80L is great for that.
Just a quick question here. So what sizes does the A80L come in?
65 or 55, 65, 77, and 83.
So 83, is that a big screen?
Yes, that's very big.
That's a big screen. I just want to mention that because we got a great chat here. And I mentioned this earlier because you're looking great. Zach mentioned big screen to match your big muscles.
Oh my God.
Looking good.
You guys are trying to make me blush.
I love it. Great comment, Zach. Keep the comments coming. Let us know where you're checking in from. So if you've just joined us, this is our Sony YouTube Live back to school event, showing some fantastic tech to bring back to school. And we just finished talking about the A80L. This is a perfect OLED. It's now bundled with the PlayStation 5 for the first time ever. So it's $150 off. Make sure you check your favorite retailer for more details. But Brayton, that's a great TV. OLEDs are fantastic, my favorite. But what about if you're in a super bright room or you just want a super bright TV?
Yeah, we'll talk about mini LED in just one second. I just noticed this looking at the monitor here, that the A80L, especially in the 65 and 77-inch models right now, is up to $600 off, and that still bundles with the PlayStation. So like if you're trying to get the greatest gaming experience and you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, you're able to get a crazy deal on the TV and on the PlayStation. So just...
Are all those people going back to school? Or maybe if you want to reward, you buy this TV, you want to reward your kid, you buy the TV, you show them the boxes, and you say, well, once we get that first report card, once we get that first grade back, then maybe we can open the PS5. So
that's a good idea. All right, let's move on to mini LED. The X93L is the next TV I want to talk about. Like Francois said, this TV is going to be exceptionally bright, and it uses what's called mini LED technology. Again, for those of you watching at home that aren't as familiar with TVs, we talked about some higher contrast TVs that are able to make different levels of brightness. Those are called dimming zones, right? You're able to be bright here and dark there. With mini LED, that takes that concept and blows it up. It takes way more lights and it's able to draw much finer lines of contrast. And because it has many more bulbs in it, many more zones, it's able to be much brighter, more accurate with contrast, everything else. Now, there are other mini LEDs out there on the market. What really sets apart our mini LED technology has to be the backlight master drive, it's called. Now, this was introduced a few years ago. We had a couple TVs, the 930E and I think the Z9D.
C9D for
yeah.
sure, yeah.
These were basically, we called them unicorn TVs. They were extremely highly rated. That high contrast technology was still pretty new. And we basically put a dedicated engine in these TVs just to drive that light technology, because when you talk about a TV's processing and what the TV has to focus on to look good, there's all sorts of stuff that it's focusing on. Adding all these extra lights puts a whole nother level of focus on that TV's brain. Backlight Master Drive is its own dedicated brain basically to drive all this amazing bright mini LED technology.
Some great game features on this too.
There is, yeah. Game menu. Similarly to the A80L, another feature that I would mention has to be black level
balance.
Black level balance.
Yeah.
Black equalizer?
Black equalizer. I knew I had it wrong.
There you go.
Thank you for
Karina's got us
correcting me.
covered.
Now, black equalizer. Here's what I want to tell you about black equalizer. I told you I'm not very good at playing games, especially first-person shooters. If you ask me, I would tell you it's because of campers.
Hiding in those dark corners.
Yeah, it's real annoying. You walk into the room and they're sitting there waiting. With the black equalizer, you're able to turn up the black levels of those shadows where those pesky campers are, and you can see them a little easier. Are they still probably going to get me? Probably, but at least I can see them and I don't feel like I'm getting bamboozled. But yeah, that's all available right in that game menu. Pops up from the bottom of the screen, and again, just gives you a lot more control as a gamer over your cool gaming features, so you can spend more time playing the game and less time
Losing the game.
Losing the game.
well.
Now, just to mention, all these TVs that we do mention here, from the A80L to the X93L to some TVs that Karina is going to mention very shortly here, the game menu is available for all of them, so all these TVs, and the PlayStation 5 bundle, again, the first time we've ever bundled PlayStation 5 with our TVs. They're all available at your favorite retailers for $150 off, which is fantastic. That's on top of the TV sale price. So if you're looking for a new TV bundle for back to school, or maybe an incentive for your child to get good grades, this is probably a great bundle to think about. Now, Karina, I know you've been patiently waiting. Me and Brayton have been going on some tangents here, so it is your time to shine. Talk about these TVs that you have in store for us.
Totally. Now, I'm going to steal your thunder a little bit, Brayton, because I'm going to talk about the X95L. So, also a mini LED, comes only in an 85-inch, and I'm from Texas, and in Texas, everything's bigger. So we like big trucks, we like big TVs, and for you parents out there, you sent your kid off to college, have an empty bedroom, there's a lot of room for activities, and you want to be able to make maybe like a theater room. This is a perfect television for that. You get those nice deep blacks, you get those brights, but more importantly, you get XR clear image. So you want your shows to be clear, especially if you're not watching that 4K content. Me personally, when I was going to college, or even now, I have some comfort shows from the early 2000s that were shot 20 years ago that I love, and the thing about our TVs is they clear it up and they give you the best quality image possible.
Absolutely, and there's nothing about like clear image, and the processing that Brayton was talking about is, and Karina talking about what you've watched in the past. not everything you watch is going to be in 4K, and we understand that at Sony. So when you have XR clear image and you have a great processor, you're going to be able to take like regular 1080p content and make it look damn near 4K, even if you're not watching 4K content, which is a very big bonus about buying a Sony TV.
And I know you guys were talking about gaming. Personally, just like you, Brayton, I'm pretty bad at first-person shooters. The thing that's been the saving grace for me has been the on-screen crosshairs. So nobody knows I have them on. My friends think I'm phenomenal at first-person shooters when in reality I'm kind of a noob, but I can really step up my game with those on-screen crosshairs.
One thing I've noticed about the on-screen crosshairs is depending on, we're talking a lot about these games that I'm not very good at, but there's a few, some guns that you use in those games, the best way to use them is running around and not actually like aiming them. Those on-screen crosshairs make hip fire, hip fire. I knew that. Making hip fire way more easy to do because you don't have to aim down the sights, for instance, in order to still see where the pew pew is going to go.
Yeah. And then my favorite TV with all these gaming features with the PS5 bundle is the X90L.
I love the X90L. Now, when I was in college, I had a 28-inch TV that I bought for a few $100s, and it was just a sad TV. I really wish that back then I had the X90L. I love this thing. You get full array contrast, really great picture quality, but also on top of buying the TV, I know you college students out there are probably eating instant noodles and cereal, and you don't want to spend money each month on a subscription like a streaming service. Our TVs come with BraviCore. You get 5 movie credits for whatever movies that you want that are on the library, and then you also have 12 months streaming included, so you don't have to worry about paying for anything. We got you there. Another feature I do love is the Google TV live channels. You get over 700 channels of live television. Now, I know when it comes down to me, I'm streaming and I'm going through all these services and I don't know what to watch because there's just so much to choose, but sometimes it's nice to let the TV choose for you, and you're bound to find a rerun of a show that you're gonna fall in love with.
I just have to shout out on this chat. Ascender, the guy, says none of these people play video games, and it shows. My man, if I'll challenge you on any sports game, anytime, or also first-person shooter. I'm a big gamer, so yeah. To say that in the chat, no, we definitely do game, and I challenge you. So put your gamer tag in there, and we'll get a game going.
Ascender, if you want to 1v1 me, it's fine. But if you beat me, I'm going to deny it.
Yeah, right. Never happened. So yeah, the X90L is great. Also has the gaming menu, gaming feature. I see some great banter over here between Tim Tom Taylor and Larry from Sony. The X850B, 855B that they've both had is almost 10 years old. Well, Tim Tom Taylor, this is the perfect time to upgrade your TV and to upgrade maybe into a next generation console, which is great. And then we had another comment here. Sorry. Oh, Jeff's eyes are going. Appreciate that. So yeah, if you guys are just joining now, this is our Sony YouTube live stream. We do this each and every month. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our Sony Electronics YouTube page so we can see you on the next live stream. If you are joining us late and you are watching this later on, make sure you do put some comments in that chat. Larry from Sony, myself, Brayden, or Karina, we can go through those chats and answer your questions. So if we missed anything in the chat today, I apologize. It was going pretty quick. And that's kind of wrapping us up to our back to school specials. Make sure you check it out. Again, link in the description down below. You can find our D2C Sony site. You can also find all of these deals at your favorite retailer, and especially that Sony PlayStation deal. Make sure you check out your favorite retailer for those deals. But
I was going to say, before you do this, I have to get this out of my system. We're in San Diego live right now, okay? Been in San Diego live. I'm not sure if you've seen the news or not. There was a hurricane that came through here, and thankfully everyone survived. And even though it's sunny and clear here now, and probably sunny and clear where you're watching from, there's no hurricane where you are. Some of these specials that are available on these products at your favorite retailer will still be able to blow your doors off. All right, I feel better.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Got that out of your system?
Yes.
I love it. So yeah, definitely back to school Sony specials. Thank you everyone for joining us on this YouTube live back to school special event. Make sure you subscribe to our Sony YouTube page. But that's it for us. I've been Francois with Sony.
I'm Brayton.
I'm Karina.
And we'll see you on our next YouTube live.